How are you, my fans, sneak peepers, and curious friends? I am difficult and demanding. If you want to know my real name, then hold still, and I might bring your wish to fruition. Before we begin, you can find this podcast show in iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Blueberry, Google Play Music, TuneIn, YouTube, and Stitcher. This is the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast, keeping it real, uncensored, and shooting straight between the eyes. The third eye, that is. I am going to hit you with explicit truth. This solo show is outrageously honest and keenly witty with a view into life. Yes, I said life. That's what we do every day when we wake up from sleeping. We are living life. Well, some of us at least. Let's get something straight. Really, really straight. I am truly, actually, habitually, and shamelessly difficult and demanding. And I completely own it. Now, I don't ask for much because I expect and receive it all. I firmly believe that if you expect shit, you will receive shit. What does that mean? Well, it means expect nothing but the best and don't settle for less. As always, I, your host, Tara, am keeping it real and uncensored. There's something I want to tell you. I need to tell you. Do you want to know? Are you curious? You have to be, because you never ever know what's going to come out of my full lips. So are you ready? Is your interest piqued? Okay, come closer and let's get you into my world and unplugged from your life. I want you to dive all into episode 64 of the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast. Do you have a secret? I know you do. Tell me, what is it? I'm going to take a guess. Let's see. I think I know what you fantasize about. Is it all about sex? Come on, you can tell me. Is it about sex? Do you need to be fucked? Do you want mouth-watering sex? What are you willing to do to get it? What are you willing to risk to have it? Are you willing to lay all that you value on the line for a younger woman or man to bring you the fuck back to life? Before I begin, I am going to do a call out. What's a call out? Well, it's not a shout out. I am calling out you motherfucking lurkers. If you have entered my world, then be honest with yourself about it. You want to be here, and you know I want you here, so follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Finally, climb aboard and enjoy the entire show, because I am giving you plenty of ridiculous honesty. Once the podcast episode ends, I am keeping it going on my Instagram page at Difficult and Demanding and on my Twitter page at Mrs. D and D. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm not really sure where this is going to go this episode, but it should be a wonderful adventure nonetheless. So I am focusing on an article that I read, and the name or the title of this article is, After 20 Years of Marriage, I Discovered My Husband Was a Sugar Daddy. And this lady went on to describe her picture-perfect, idealistic life. She thought she had it all. She had a CEO husband. She had her own nonprofit in East Africa. She had a big house in an affluent suburb in Silicon Valley here in California. And she also had a vacation house on the lake. And did I mention she was married for 20 years? So she ended up finding out that her husband had a secret. And this secret went on for many, many, many years. But the secret did not begin to unveil itself until the relationship started unraveling. And this relationship started unraveling and falling apart over the course of 3 years. They tried couples counseling and that wasn't working. And their fights kept getting worse and worse and worse. Then one day her husband came home and said that he was leaving and not coming back. 20 years of marriage, couples counseling not working, fights getting worse and worse and worse. What that tells me is that he was trying to make it easier to leave. And it took him some time to emotionally, mentally unravel himself from being with her for 20 years. So after he left, she had to basically put her life back together. So she started coming up with what we all do. We have to come up with a budget, figure out how we're going to pay our bills, what bills need to be paid. And while she was going through their history of charges and bills, she started noticing recurring charges from an online site. And when she delved a little deeper, she found out that this online site that was charging her husband and her account, joint account, was a site for companionship and sex. Companionship and sex. So how is it? The lady felt that she had it all. And she was married for 20 years and her life was picture perfect. But according to her husband's point of view, he didn't have it all. She had it all and he did not have it all. Because if he had it all, he wouldn't be on a site, a website that orchestrated mutually beneficial relationships on the individual's terms. Basically, what he was doing, you can call him a sugar daddy, you can call him whatever you want. He was seeking companionship and sex. Now, how is it that a woman has one point of view and a man has another point of view? They're both in the same marriage. They've both been married for 20 years. They both have the successful careers, the nonprofits, the homes, the kids. They have all the same things. She's supposedly fulfilled, and clearly he is unfulfilled. Now you need to tell me, how is that possible? How is that possible? The man is seeking companionship and sex on his terms, and he's willing, ready, and able to pay money for that shit. But the wife, she's living her idealistic life. Everything is grand. Everything is great. How is that possible? Two people, same relationship, disconnected, clearly have different objectives. He is willing, able, and ready, and has been exchanging, providing money and gifts for companionship and sex. If he's been married for 20 years, which he has been, and he is successful and they are successful, why does he need a companion when he's in a motherfucking relationship? Why does he need sex when he is in a relationship, a marriage? How is that? Why is that? So I'm thinking. The woman is supposedly fulfilled. The man is not. The woman is supposedly fulfilled. The man is not. How is it that they're not on the same page? And why is it that they didn't care to get on the same page? Something changed over the years. And maybe their values have changed. Maybe their sexual interests change. Maybe their libidos change. Something shifted some way, somehow over the course of those 20 goddamn years. You see, because when a man or anyone decides to take the audacious, bold move to go seek pleasure, to go seek companionship, to go seek sex, to go seek intimacy, romanticism, something is gravely wrong. Something is gravely off. Passion and desire is gone and off. Interest and intrigue is gone and off. Everything is just cruising along at room goddamn temperature. Now, why is it that room temperature works for women, but room temperature doesn't work for men? And when I mean room temperature, I mean calm, placid, serene waters. I guess that is stability for women. Reliability and stability is room temperature, calm, serene waters. You see, but that does not, will not keep a man alive. That does not and will not keep a man's libido high. That cannot and that will not keep a man's desire and passion for you burning ferociously. Listen to what the fuck I just said. Women seek stability, reliability, comfort, protection, and a provider. Men seek thrill, adventure, intrigue, passion, desire. They seek thrill. They need thrill. And they will go to find that thrill. A man is not meant to be calm and placid. He's like a fire, a bonfire. You let that son of a bitch die down to a very small fire, and then you stoke that son of a bitch up to a roaring fire. That's what you need to do to a man. You build the fire up, you let it come down. You build the fire up, you let it come down. You build the fire up, you let it come down. Because while you are doing that, you're giving him what he needs. And when you basically yin yang, yo-yo, stoke him, stroke him, let him come down. Stoke him, stroke him, let him come down. He then gives you the comfort, the reliability, the security, and everything that you're seeking. But you also get some bonuses. You get passion. You get desire. You get him wanting you, chasing you, needing you, and hungry for your motherfucking ass. Literally and figuratively. So he needed companionship. And you're thinking he had companionship. He had a wife. No, what he had was a goddamn roommate. They may have had a romantic relationship at some juncture in their relationship life, but over a period of time, due to life, because of life, they fell into a routine and they went from extraordinary to motherfucking ordinary. And he was doing the right thing by being there and checking all the boxes and doing his duty. But as he was doing that, who he is, what he is, was starting to fade away. What made him feel like a man was no longer there. He was no longer seen as someone who is helpful. He was no longer seen as someone that was needed. He was no longer appreciated and doted upon like he used to be. His ego and his pride was not being stimulated, was not being titillated, and was not being fucking poked, stoked, and stroked. Because that's important. And as women, we need to understand that shit. You want the best sex life, you want the desire and passion, all that shit, then you need to learn the art of dealing with the motherfucking man and what they need and want. Now you're saying, oh, are you blaming her? I'm not blaming any motherfucking body. I'm just telling you how to play the goddamn drums. If you want to play the drums well, listen to what I'm saying. If you don't want to play the drums well, then you keep doing what you're doing. But when someone wants to go to the extent of paying money and giving gifts to get what they want, what that means is that they are deprived and they're hungry and horny as motherfucking hell. When you want to pay money for someone to spend time with you, that means you are so deprived, rejected, neglected, sacrificed so much that you have a specific prescription to what you want and how. And you don't want that shit fucked up. You don't want to gamble with that shit going out trying to meet someone in the bar. No, when a man wants to pay money for a woman for her time and some sex and companionship, that means he knows what the fuck he wants. He knows he's not going to settle for less. And he's had enough of the bullshit. So he's not going to take a chance. He's not going to take the risk of meeting someone else, coaching them, grooming them, doing all that bullshit. He doesn't want to deal with that bullshit. He wants what the fuck he wants, how he wants it, when he wants it, why he wants it. And he doesn't want to be motherfucking questioned about that shit. Do you understand? When men get to a certain age, a mature stage, a stable stage in their life professionally, at that point in time, they have great clarity. The greatest clarity about what they want and how the fuck they want to feel. They know who makes them feel good, like a man, like a motherfucking god, or who ignores them and treats them like a pawn or peasant off the fucking street. You got two women. One is making a man feel like a god and he can part the fucking Red Sea. You got another one who's used to him, who's comfortable with him, who sees him, who doesn't really see him, but they're just chugging along every single day with life. Chugga, 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 chugga. Where do you think that man's going to go? He's going to go to the one who sends his testosterone levels up the motherfucking roof. He's going to go to someone who makes his dick stand at attention. He's going to go to the one that makes his heart go bump, 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 bump. He's going to go to the one who basically captivates his fucking mind, his thoughts, his heart, and his attention. That's where he's going to gravitate to. And no matter how hard he tries to stay away, he's not going to be able to stay the fuck away because he is deprived. He has sacrificed. He is neglected. He is rejected. And what he's going to do, he's going to go to what understands him. He's going to go to what makes him feel like a fucking beast. That's where he wants to go. And I know you people are thinking, well, you know, he's a grown-ass man. He should be able to control his impulses. On one part, you can call it an impulse, but it's his nature. It's how they're designed to be. You cannot change the signature design of the masculine energy of the man. You need to understand it. You need to embrace it. And you need to ride that shit like a goddamn wave to get what you want, to keep what the fuck you want, and to keep him motherfucking hypnotized and obsessed with you. We take men eventually for granted. We see them as some type of fixture in our life. We think that after the years have gone by, that they are ours and they will always be ours. And because you have kids in the home and the vacation homes and all these wonderful different things, you think you're safeguarding well. The only way you can be truly safeguarded well is if you have your man ready, willing, and able to jump through hoops of fire, walk over hot coals for your ass, and obsesses and stalks your fine fucking ass all day and all night. And the only way you can do that is by feeding his ego, feeding his pride. So simple, yet so goddamn complicated. So why did he pay money? Because he had enough of the bullshit. He's a fucking boss, her husband. He's a CEO. He's a chief executive officer. He can get who he wants, how he wants it, why he wants it. Why in the hell would he need to come home to some mundane, mediocre, routine bullshit? Now you're saying, well, he should have been man enough to discuss it. I'm sure he tried to. I'm sure she tried to. But they kind of just slid into this rhythm. And it was easy. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He didn't want to hurt. He didn't want to deprive. So he figured, you know what? Let me do what I need to do quietly to keep the status quo, to keep the image. But I'm dying inside and I need to go fix this shit before I lose my goddamn mind. Simple as that. You think it's wrong? Whatever. You think he could have done what? It doesn't matter. He chose the path that he thought was best. It may not agree with you. It may not agree with me. But the fact is, we as people, we need to get fucked. We need to get hugged, cuddled, and fucked. That is what it is. That is how it works. And if you think that after a certain age, that should cease to be what it is, no. I can't help some of y'all libidos go down the fucking toilet. I can't help some of y'all never had a fucking libido. But there's a good portion of people whose shit is still a ticking and they want to be a licked. And that is what it is. So if you can't accept and identify what human nature is, I don't know what to tell you. Men and women, we're different. We're always different. We're going to be different. And unless you start to understand that we are different, you're going to constantly run into circumstances and situations like this, where the woman's on one page and the man is in another fucking book on another goddamn shelf. You have to keep the pulse of your man. You have to control the pulse of that motherfucker. You have to be the one that slows it the fuck down, speeds it up. You have to be the one that stops that son of a bitch when you're not in his presence. That's what it needs to be. You cannot go on cruise control. You cannot take your hand off the steering wheel, off the accelerator. You cannot do that. If you go on cruise control, you will find that your man has left your ass, has started cheating, is whacking off the fucking porn, or are on websites where they can basically pay for mutually beneficial relationships that's orchestrated on individual terms. So as she started digging more and more, she found more charges, and more charges for hotel rooms and expensive restaurants. He was spending money on hotel rooms and expensive restaurants. Now, a number of you are probably feeling very disgusted, because he's disloyal and he's betrayed her. But where he's spending his money tells me a lot. He's spending money on hotel rooms, which means he wants to get butt ass naked. He wants to feel his body pressed up against another living motherfucking body. He wants to be touched. He wants to be caressed. He wants to be held. He wants to be poked, stroked, dripped on, licked on, and a whole host of things. He wants to come. He wants to eat at fine restaurants and feel like a fucking king and a god. And he wants to top his fucking evening off with a bang. Banging someone's fucking brain out of their head. And banging his own brain out by making himself come and climax. That's what it is. Now, if you don't like the way I put it, I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, this is what it boils down to. When we become grown, which everyone who's listening to me, you better be grown, because if you're not grown, you need to stop listening to me. We are grown. We have fucking sexual needs and desires for a reason. Some of us, it looks the same. Some of us, the shit is different, but we have primal needs and wants. We need to feel another. We need to have our bodies pressed up against another, completely naked. We need that shit. We must have that shit. We want to eat good, delicious, fine food because it makes us feel good. It makes us feel really good. And then when you feel really good, you want to take it to the next level to feel especially good. So he was spending money on expensive hotels and restaurants because that was what his needs were. He was spending at least $1,000 a month for over a year on women or a woman to spend quality time with him. Over $1,000 a month. That's a lot of money. That means what that man needed was so unbelievable that he was coughing up that amount of money to get his needs fucking met. I would say you may have been married for 20 years, but something has been off for more than goddamn 3 years. He was famished, and I'm sure she was famished. But they thought it was okay because they were going along with the rhythm and the ride, and things look good. Things didn't feel good, but things look good. So they're going to chug along for the rest of their life living this bullshit. People need to get fucked. They need their fucking world rocked, like rocked. You have to understand that. You have to know that. Because if you understand that, you know when you step the fuck in the bedroom with another, you need to blow their motherfucking minds and you need to lay their fucking body out. Drop them like they're dead. That's the mindset I would go with. If you're with someone and you think they're a great catch and you want to keep them, you lay their body, blow their fucking mind and lay their body out like they're goddamn dead each and every time. Rock their motherfucking world. You don't want them to have an itch to think about somebody else. That's how we need to approach it. When we're intimate with someone, we're involved, blow their minds and their bodies every single time. If you're tired, I don't give a fuck. Change your approach, change your position. You're feeling bitchy, I don't give a fuck. You bring the bitch in the bedroom and you dominate that motherfucker. You ride his ass off a fucking cliff. That's what the fuck you do. You boss the fuck up. You're feeling shy, meek. That's okay. Let them dominate your fucking ass. Let them pull your hair. Let them slap your ass. Whatever the fuck you need to do. You bring that shit to the bedroom. You're saying that's too much. Oh, hell no. A good coming session will make it all fucking worth it. There is no special mood. There's no special time. There's no motherfucking special place. You take it how you can fucking get it. You bring it. You better bring it all day and all motherfucking night. That is what you need to do. And we don't understand that. Every time you decide to be intimate with someone, you better decide that's your first fucking time. And you better fuck him like your life goddamn depended on it. You don't like my audaciousness? I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you the truth. You want to keep your man? You don't want him spending $1,000 on somebody else and while she's doing, that's what she's doing to him. She's fucking him like his life fucking depended on it. And she's taking that cash and those gifts and walking the fuck out the door. If you don't want that money going to another motherfucking honey, that I'm telling you what the fuck you need to do. You need to bring your A game, not your A game. Bring your fucking triple A game. Fuck him till his fucking eyes pop out of his head and he is gasping for breath and trying to see if his fucking heart still works. That's what you need to do. And if you can't do that, you won't do that, you tried that, it doesn't work, then that means you're with the wrong motherfucker and you need to move the fuck on to someone else. Do you understand? So after she found all these charges, she felt angry, she felt disgust, and she felt shame. She felt anger, disgust, and shame. Because he was sleeping with others, spending money on hotel rooms and expensive restaurants. I can see why she felt angry, because she probably wished he had said something to her up front. Disgust? I don't understand why she disgusted, because if someone fucked her really good and properly, she would understand. She hadn't got banged properly in a while herself, so she doesn't know what the fuck is going on, what she's missing. And shame, why should she be shameful? What he needs have nothing to do with her. And if she knew that he had those needs, then they should have had a conversation and she could have told him right then and there whether she could provide or not. The only thing that I can agree with is her feeling angry because he was not forthright with her. But being disgusted, why can you be disgusted with someone who needs to feel touched, who needs to feel alive, who needs companion, who needs intimacy? You can't be disgusted by that shit. And if you can't deliver it, if you can't or won't deliver it, then you have to understand, what is this man supposed to do? Is he supposed to go without? Because you're able to go without, he's supposed to go without? That's not right. And shame, what the fuck are you ashamed for? He's paying for sex? Look, one way or the other, shit costs something. He's paying for you. He paid for you. And one way or another, he paid for you. To be his wife, that cost him money. To give you security, reliability, and all those different things, that cost him money. That cost him time, energy, effort, money. So one way or another, some shit is getting paid for. You don't like the way that he went down about it? Fine. But the fact is, he was paying for companionship and sex. And this thing has existed since the dawn of mankind. We need to understand, we need to accept the fact that men have needs, women have needs, how they get met are differently. But if we understand one another and can meet those needs, then you get your needs met. Simple. So she decided to call him. She called her estranged husband after she found all these charges, and she asked him, how could you do this? How could you take another woman to that hotel that we had stayed in together? And why did you do this? How could you do this, and why did you do this? How could he do it? He did it because he did not have a fucking choice. And you're saying, he's a grown-ass man, he had a choice. Theoretically, yes. But I'm talking to you about the nature of humans and how we are. You're saying, well, we should not let our impulses control. We're supposed to use good judgment in our minds. When your spirit, your soul speaks to you and it tells you, I need something, I need it bad. It's something that some of you may not understand. Some of you who have been through a midlife crisis understand, but it's something that you cannot ignore. You cannot hide. You cannot run from. You will try your damnedest to stay away from it. But when you're in a bad state and your spirit is speaking to you saying, I need this, you become angry. You can become depressed. You can become suicidal. There's any number of ways that this shit can play the fuck out if you don't address what is bothering you. So how can he do this? It wasn't about her. It was about him. He did it because he had a need. He did it because he couldn't get what he needed from you. But he didn't want to lose you. He didn't want to leave you. He didn't want to abandon you. So he chose the lesser of the evils. You're saying, am I making excuses for him cheating? I'm not making excuses for shit. He should have been upfront with her and told her what the fuck was up before he did it. How he did what he did, it could be right or wrong. Why he did what he did, can't change that fact. He didn't have a choice. He had to do it. Should he have been honest? Yes. Was he honest? No. That's some shit that they need to figure the fuck out. But there's some things that you cannot run from. There's some things you cannot hide from. And there's some things where those needs got to get fucking met. And it's as simple as that. And I know a number of you won't agree with me. You think it's wrong. You think that people should be able to control themselves. With your point of view, you are correct. With your life experiences, you are correct. But there may come a time or day where there's something in you that is raw, that is primal, and is hungry as fuck. And nothing you say, nothing you can do will quell that beast until you give it what the fuck it wants. And he needed companionship. He needed to be touched. He needed to feel alive. He needed to feel like a fucking god. So he decided not to answer her. And instead, what he told her, instead of answering her questions, what he told her, he said, it felt good to be appreciated by these women, by those women. And he claimed that she had brought this on herself. Listen to what I said. He didn't answer her questions as far as how and why. What he told her is that it felt good to me to feel appreciated by these women, and claimed that she had brought this on herself. He then rubbed it in her face deeper and said that I took her to that hotel because it's a great hotel. This man just dropped a bombshell. He said he needed to feel appreciated. He did not feel appreciated. And you're saying, well, she loved him. She was there for him. Of course, she appreciated him. You have to show a man, give a man what he needs in the way that works for him. You cannot love a man the way that you would love your female friends. They're different. How you handle them is different. And if a man is telling you he does not feel appreciated, then that means how you are delivering shit to him is not right. It's not conducive for him. After 20 years, she felt she had it all, and he felt like he wasn't appreciated, and he did not feel good after doing everything that he have done to provide them with that life. He felt unappreciated, and he did not feel good in that relationship. Now, to women, you're thinking, shut the fuck up. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's not enough for him to do what he did. But that's where we go wrong, because it may not be a big deal for a woman, but it's a huge deal for a fucking man as far as appreciation and respect. They don't give a fuck about love. They want appreciation and respect. And if they don't get appreciation and respect, they will go someplace else. And if they don't go someplace else, they will check the fuck out on you, which means they will be disconnected, shut off from you. So either they leave and go some fucking place else, or they shut off from you. That is what happens. He says she did it to herself. Now you're thinking, why would she be responsible for this? What he means by that is, all she had to do was appreciate and respect him and let him know that shit. And for some reason, he feels that she had a sense of entitlement. And instead of being grateful and doing things that make him happy in the way that works for him as a man, she was giving him things that she felt he should have instead of giving him things that he felt he should get. And over time, he grew angry and resentful. Now you're saying, why didn't he come talk to her and tell her we're fun? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? I don't know why people do some of the shit they do. Maybe they don't like to deal with confrontation. I don't know. But the fact is this. She felt she had it all. He felt he had shit. That he was willing to jeopardize and walk away from a 20-year marriage. Now for women, you don't think that's a fucking big deal. But when I told you, fuck him, ride him into the goddamn sunset. Make it so that he cannot walk, has no interest in walking, and he is checking to see if his heart still has a motherfucking beat. That's what you need to do. Every time, every day, every fucking way, if you want to hold his goddamn attention. So it dawned on her that she wasn't going to get the answers that she wanted or needed. That's another thing. When you ask a man a question, he gives you the answer. You don't accept the answer because you are looking for an answer that is something that you would get from a woman. He gave you the answer that you needed. He gave you the $1 million answer. You asked the $1 million question. He gave you the $2 million answer. But in your head, appreciation and feeling good is not enough for him to do what he did. But I'm telling you, the way the man works, it was enough. Lack of appreciation and disrespect will get a man shutting off from you, finding a mistress and paying for a mistress and finding ways to be with her. And if a woman understands how a man works, she has power over that man because that man becomes addicted to her. And when a man becomes addicted to another woman and he gets that appreciation, that respect, that doting, that passion, that compassion. When a woman knows how to poke, stroke, stoke his ego and pride, there's no competition. You've been laid the fuck out. You've been shot. You've been assassinated. You've been annihilated by the other woman. There's nothing you can do about it. You cannot compete with that shit. So you shouldn't even try. And if she is doing whatever she needs to do inside that bedroom, you can't compete. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. There's no amount of years in your goddamn marriage that will safeguard you. You see, there's some men who go out and they go just for sex. But then you have some men who get captivated, enthralled by a woman mentally and emotionally. She snatches him that way. And then if she sleeps with him, she goes in for the fucking kill. It's over. It's over. At that point, it's over. You might as well just lay the fuck down and play dead. You cannot compete with her. Unless she chooses to walk the fuck away from the dude, you cannot compete. There's no amount of kids. There's no amount of history. There's nothing you can do to compete with her because she knows how a fucking man works. She knows what to do. She knows how to get what the fuck she wants, and he loves that shit. Very simple. So after she compiled all the financial transactions in regards to his affairs, she gave the documentation to her attorneys and decided to dust herself off and do whatever she could to get her dignity back. She felt her husband took her dignity away. Let me tell you some shit. No one can take a motherfucking thing from you. Just because he chose to go cheat, because your relationship was not functioning at an optimal level, that's no reflection of you. Shit changes. People need changes. And because their needs change and they go get that shit met someplace else, that does not mean you're inadequate. That does not mean you are unworthy. What that means is you guys have different goals, different ways of accomplishing things, and different things to offer, and you no longer align. It does not mean that you are insufficient. That does not mean that you are unworthy. All that it means is that your interests, your needs do not overlap. Things have changed. You need to move the fuck on and find someone who is more conducive to what you have to offer, because it no longer works for your fucking husband. He has some other needs that need to be taken care of. Simple as that. No one can take your dignity away. And I think we should stop thinking that someone has that much power over us. So the fuck what? He wanted to get fucked. He wanted to feel like a king. He wanted to go out to nice restaurants. He used to do that with you. Shit changes. Shit changed. He doesn't want to do with you anymore. Does not mean that something's wrong with you. It just means that things have changed and you both need to go your fucking separate ways. Whatever he chose to do, her husband, and whatever she chose to do as a wife, it has nothing to do with the other. We are individuals. We have separate needs. If we can meet each other's needs by being married, great, we stay married. But when we cannot and will not meet our individual needs with one another in exchange, what that means is that relationship is over. It's plain and simple. It is goddamn over. So why is companionship, sex, important, especially later in life? Companionship and sex is vital to who we are. It is why people say that babies, children, they need to be held, they need to be touched, because it's healing and it's good for our well-being as people. And as we become adults, sensual, sexual adults, we have another need that develops that needs to be satisfied on an intimate level. We need to be basically naked and free, rolling around with one another. We need that shit. We need to be touched in places that we're quote unquote not supposed to be touched. We need to feel that stimulation, that titillation. We need that warmth, that touching, that connection. We need to try to press ourselves fucking as close together as possible to feel like one. You cannot hide that. You cannot deprive yourself of that. You cannot ignore that. Some of y'all like to fucking whack off, fucking masturbate all day long until you're fucking purple in the face. But at the end of the day, we need to be touched by another person. You can touch yourself all day, every goddamn day, but you touching yourself can never replace the right touch by another person with you. We are meant to commingle. We are meant to be with another person. And you cannot take that away. We can go a number of years, some people more, some people less. without having that intimacy, that relationship. But I can guarantee you there will come a time, there will come a day and come a place where someone will cross your wife's path or someone will cross your husband's path. They will click, they will vibe, they will both be deprived, and they will have a strong pull to one another to fulfill that shit and make goddamn fireworks in the bedroom or whatever place they choose to hook the fuck up in. They will make fireworks. And at that point in time, when the fucking dams open, when they burst open, they're open. It's over. It's done with. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do to compete with that shit. We need to have companionship. We need to have intimacy. So clearly this dude was a mature man. And more than likely, the women that he was meeting and hooking up with, they were more than likely younger than him. So he went to this website seeking someone who was eager, ready, and able, fresh, curious to be with him. He was seeking May, December type of relationships where it's old and young. Why did he do it? Because he needed to feel like himself. He needed to get in touch with himself. He had lost himself. He wanted passion. He wanted life. He wanted vitality. He wanted respect. He wanted an open, warm, vulnerable relationship. He wanted adventurous, and he wanted to fuck. Well, a man with that much power, that much stress, he needs to take the fucking edge off. Actually, all men need to take the edge off. That's why they crave sex. That's why they need the shit. Because they're under a lot of fucking stress. And to relieve that stress, they like to fuck. It helps them feel better. It helps them decompress. And it helps them get through every single day. I told you men are different from women. And if you don't understand how a man needs to get his fucking brains coming out of his ears because you have made him feel good sexually, if you don't understand that, that is how you get into these type of situations. So he wanted a younger woman. He went to the website. He found one. He found more than one. Why young? I think he was so desperate and so needed to be replenished. He knew the young ones have greater endurance, greater stamina, and more eager to please. So he went the May, December route. The dynamic of the May, December route is it depends on the couple, but young women are not as shaded as an older woman. They haven't been through as much. So they're eager, they're open, they're willing to learn, they're willing to explore. It's refreshing. When we as women get older and we get this mentality of been there, done that, whatever, motherfucker, whatever. And men, they like adventure. They like the chase. They like the thrill. They like the positivity. They like the good vibes. And we think as we get mature as women, we kind of settle into this. We basically become rocks, boulders. We just sit there. We lose our femininity. Young women are more feminine, behave more feminine than older women. Why we lose it? I don't know. Maybe because we think because we're married, because we have children, we don't need to be that. No, that is what a man is attracted to. The more feminine you behave, the more sex kitten you behave, the more enchanting, the tantalizing, more tempting you behave, the more you tap into your feminine energy, you will have a man chasing you and trying to eat your ass alive if you tap into that energy. But that's what young girls give off. You see, both men and women, we both have the same needs. The only difference is fulfillment of those needs are completely different. And we don't understand that. That is kind of one of the main reasons why older men go for younger women. It's not because there is a greater preference per se versus older women versus younger women. There is on a visual count if the woman hasn't taken care of herself. But the mentality of a younger woman compared to an older woman is what is more appealing. A younger woman is truthfully open. She's eager. She's adventurous. She's curious. She's passionate. As we age as older women, we change. We don't understand our sensuality and our sexuality and how to use it. We think that once we become a mom or a wife, we have to shed that part of ourselves. No. You need to keep that more than ever as you age. The more sensual and feminine you are, the more sexy and hot you are. The more you know how to stroke a man's ego and pride, you become a fucking deadly vixen. You will always captivate men when you stay in touch with your feminine, your sensuality, and you know how to play upon that. You don't have to have the perfect body. You just got to have the perfect A game and know what you're doing. And that is why older women seem to be threatened by younger, because younger women are more feminine. We need to get our sensuality back. We need to get our sex kitten back. We need to become the vixens that we are, and we need to play to fucking win. We can't give that away because you become a mom or a wife. You were something else before you became a mom and a wife, and after your children are gone, you will be something else. Don't lose who you are just because you're married. Stay that woman that you were when you roped him the fuck in. Don't become something else. So why do older women or older men and young women date? Well, some people think that the man is going through a midlife crisis. Maybe he is, maybe he ain't. But as far as I'm concerned, a midlife crisis, all that is to me is a person getting more self-aware as far as what they need and want, and they're going to get that shit. We like to make people think there's something wrong with them. There's some sex crave, crazy, perverted person because they want to be with a younger woman. No, they like what the fuck they like. They want what the fuck they want. And if all of us were more honest with ourselves about who we want to fuck, how we want to get fucked, where we going to get fucked, why we want to get fucked, when we get more honest with each other, we will do that shit. But we like to hate on people who have no problems going after what the fuck they want. We want to look bad down on them like there's something wrong with them. No, what is wrong with people who are living their pretend facade lives? What's wrong is people who want some shit, can get it, and don't go take it. That's what's wrong. When you're depriving yourself and you're patting yourself on the back like you are some type of martyr or like you are some type of great person. No, you know who great people? The people who have the courage to go with the fuck they want. You know who's great people? The people who have the courage to be happy. You know who are great people? A person who knows I need to get fucked. And I know where to go get it. And I'm going to go get that shit. Older man, younger woman, whatever. People like to think it's all about the sex. Well, partly, yeah. You got two eager beavers willing to go at it. How can you assume it's shallow and no connection? How can you assume that it is not viable because he's older and she's younger? How can you assume they don't have a strong relationship? People like to focus on how this older guy is having sex with this young hottie. And people like to focus on how this younger woman is having sex with this older dude. They're doing it just like every motherfucking body else. Okay? Let's be clear. They are banging just like everybody else. Now, if you can't seem to wrap your brain around why a young woman would want an older man, why the fuck not? If he knows what the hell he's doing, send that motherfucker over me compared to a younger dude. Fuck a younger dude. If you got a hot older dude who knows what the fuck he's doing, send that son of a bitch to me any day, any motherfucking night. I would take him over a young dude. That's me. The sexual dynamic between an older and a younger one, that shit is primal. It is raw. It is erotic. It is unfucking believable how the chemistry comes together. So if all you people want to hate on me, December relationships, as far as older man and woman, whatever, that's your fucking issue. You got a man who's confident. You got a girl who's beautiful and confident, and they're willing to explore, role play, do bondage, dominant and submissive positions. Who the fuck want to turn away from that shit? Who wants to lay there and fucking missionary, looking at the fucking wall, counting fucking sheep? No, you got to bring it. And a young girl, she's learning, she's open, she's exploratory, she's willing to try. What man doesn't want to be with someone who's open and fluid and wants to try and wants to have fucking fun and come at the same time? Y'all need to get your shit together. You need to get it together. You got to bring your game all day and all fucking night. You can't be focusing on, how she's doing it with an older man. She's doing the same way you do it with a younger man. It doesn't motherfucking matter. It's getting done. And clearly he's doing it well because he's able to keep her young, hot ass. What? You think the woman is stupid and the man is a fucking predatory pervert? No, they know what the fuck is up. Clearly, they must be pleasing one another because they keep coming back to each other. So y'all can hate all damn day and all damn night, but it really doesn't matter. Sex is needed. Fucking is needed. It's needed. It's like fucking air. It's like goddamn water. I don't care if you think I'm a deprived, crazed, lunatic nymph. When you get fucked and you come, you feel so much better. You feel happy. You feel good. You feel alive. How am I the fucking pervert? How am I the fucking weirdo? I would say it's the people who sit up in the corner passing judgment when they need to be licked and sticked. I would say you the motherfuckers with the problem. Nobody in their right mind, unless you're not interested, would choose to walk away to be licked, sticked, poked, and stroked. That's my school of thought. So if you got a problem with May December relationships, older men, younger women, you need to go deal with your mommy and daddy issues. Because if these two people love each other, like each other, have a strong connection, get along, and the shit is popping in the bedroom, what they do, what they don't do is none of your motherfucking business. What people need to do is stop passing judgment on other people and figure out what the fuck is going on in their own home and their own marriage. So now you have older women with younger men. Older women are called cougars or silver vixens, and the younger men are called cubs. Why does an older woman want a younger man? Well, you think men are the only ones that want to seek arrangements and get needs catered to and pampered to? No. Her heart wants what her heart wants. And if she wants younger, that's what she's going to get. Now, some of you deprive yourself saying it doesn't look right, it doesn't sound right, it's not right. You keep living that life and you keep being deprived. But there's some women who don't give a fuck. And I swear to God, they are being bounced the fuck around the house in sexual pleasure and joy. While you are sitting there trying to figure out what you can or cannot do based on some fucking rule book that you have, there's some women who don't give a fuck and they're going to get theirs all day and all damn night. And also when you're older, a mature woman, you want to increase your dating pool. You just don't want to date someone in your age bracket because in your age bracket, shit starts getting very limited. So you want to open yourself up to new possibilities. And here are some of the perks. He's young, he's full of energy, and he's good looking. What else can get your earring or your engine a purring and a goddamn dripping at the same fucking time? The same fucking time. He's in his sexual prime with a higher testosterone level, and you are in your sexual prime, fucking like bunny rabbits. And he's more sexually adventurous because no one wants boring sex. People want to role play. People want to do bondage. You want to have different scenarios. When you have older and younger people, you have a little bit of dominant and submission going on. There's some type of role play going on. But how you get off is how the fuck you get off. You can't be worried about whether someone takes your relationship seriously or not because you're in a May December relationship, because you are with a cougar or a silver vixen or a silver fox. You can't give a fuck what people think, because if that silver fox, that older guy that you're with, is rocking your fucking world, he's not playing games, he's attentive, he's loving, passionate, respectful. How you gonna shy away from an opportunity from that shit just because of his age? And he doesn't look his age. It's even better. You don't know what the fuck you're missing. Don't be so judgmental until you try some shit out, because you may find like, woo, what the fuck have I been missing? That's what I'm saying. You don't know. May December relationships happen because they happen. One person's more mature, the other person's younger. The more mature person is probably more established in their career and their life, and they have more money, which means they're probably able to shower the younger person they're with. It's the nature of the game. It's one of the perks. If you want to be a young dude, young broke dude, you can do that shit. But if you want to be with a more mature person, you find that attractive, more stable, more grounding, more, they know what they want. They know how to get it. They know how to do it. If you enjoy that, then part of that comes with some perks. So you should never feel guilty for loving who you love, being attracted to who you're attracted to, and having sexual chemistry with whoever you have sexual chemistry. If you got someone who is a silver fox or silver vixen and they get your engine a fucking purring and a revving, don't ever shy away from that shit. You go get it. Get it while it's good. Don't turn away from that. Don't restrict yourself based on some bullshit notions that we put out about what's okay and what's not okay. You're meant to be happy. You're meant to be fulfilled. And if it happens with an older man and people don't take your relationship seriously, frankly, I don't give a fuck what people take seriously or not. The only people that need to take your relationship seriously is you and the gentleman that you're with or the woman that you're with. You're the only two that matters. Everyone else can kiss your motherfucking ass, because I can guarantee you they wish they could be you. They wish they could do like you, but they ain't got the balls. They ain't got the courage. They don't have the fucking backbone. And this is what it is. We need to get fucked all day and all fucking night. And if you take one thing from this episode, mark my words on this shit. Every time you choose to be intimate, romantic with someone involved with them, you bring your A game. You bring your triple A game. You blow that motherfucker's mind. Don't take it for granted. Don't take them for granted. You don't need a special mood. You don't need a special time. You don't need a special place. All you got to do is have your mind and heart ready to fucking pounce. You're saying, well, if my mood is not right, I don't want to be intimate. Fuck. There's no perfect mood for fucking. There's no mood. You know what you do? You bring how the fuck you feel to the fucking bedroom. Listen to what I said. You feel bitchy, you bring that bitch into the bedroom and you boss the fuck up. You dominate his ass. You get what the fuck you want from him. You feel tired and subdued and you want to surrender. Then you tell him, dominate me, control me, take the fuck over me. You feel playful, adventurous, you make that motherfucker chase you around the goddamn house, butt ass naked. Whatever you feel, that is the shit you need to bring to your motherfucking bedroom. It will be like you are sleeping with different people. The only difference is you're the same fucking person. There's no perfect mood. There's no perfect place. There's no perfect space. You come as you are and you let that person know, look, I'm telling you now, how I was the last time we got together, I'm not feeling that today. This is what I am today. So this is how we gonna do this shit. Are you down? Good. Let's go fuck. That's what you need to do. Simple. Open, honest communication. And he or she will feel like, woo, what the fuck? This person is great. They rock my motherfucking world every time. And every time the energy and the vibe is different. And I don't know what to expect. And I don't know what to get. And you know what? Frankly, I don't give a fuck because this person is making me come all day and all goddamn night. And they keep making me come. I'm going to keep coming back. Keep making me come. I'm going to come the fuck back. Did I mention keep making me come? We need sex. We need companionship. We need that more than masturbation. Yep, that's what the fuck I said. If you have to choose between masturbating or being intimate with someone, it's always more beneficial for your well-being to be with someone else. But if the person you're with don't know what the fuck they're doing, whack your shit off all day and night until you find a worthy contender. But don't get caught up in masturbation only, because you need to be able to connect and work with another to achieve a climax with another. If you get used to coming by yourself, it's going to be difficult for you to come with another person. And you don't want to lose that ability to connect and be with another person. Fucking is good, fucking is right. Embrace it. Men need to get fucked. They have no choice. It's needed for their well-being. And frankly, as women, it's needed for ours. We think too fucking much. Go get it. Go get it. Get that dick. Get it. Get it. Get it. Tell him that shit is mine. It's mine. Own it. And do what the fuck you want with it. And he will look at you like a prize, a charm, and he won't want to go anyplace else. Because if you own that dick like it's yours, you better believe most women cannot and will not do that shit. And he knows that. And that is why he will be stuck and obsessed with you and only you. Come back and join me next week. Are you disappointed this has come to an end? Well, it doesn't have to. Reach out and let me know what you think about this episode and my podcast. You can try and slide into my DM, but I will kick your ass out. So I suggest you hop into my DM on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding or Twitter at Mrs. D&D, or leave a comment on one of my posts. Did you like it? Did it please you? Your answer better be yes, because you don't want a displeased, difficult, and demanding. Now that you're feeling good, really, really good, you should know that episode 65 is here on February 15, 2019 from the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast.